Well, hello and welcome to Over the Vast Nurseries on a beautiful sunny morning in early spring. It's a delightful day, lovely to be outdoors and to be able to show you some of the bright, colourful plants that you can grow in your garden at this time of year. But before I get into the detail about this incredible variety, can I suggest that you think about clicking and subscribing to our channel, because we're busy posting new videos all the time, and once you subscribe they will show up in your feed, and then you'll get to hear about all of the fabulous plants that you can buy in garden centres throughout our region. Now here is why I'm excited to be able to show you this morning. This is a gorgeous, relatively new variety from proven winners. This is Phlox Spring Bling, well named Pink Sparkles. Pink Sparkles because it has quite literally these beautiful, bright, sparkling pink flowers that are just a delight to be able to see and also to smell, because these flowers are fragrant as well as being really beautiful to look at. What's more, this is a little short, compact plant that only grows about 4 to 8 inches high, spreads out to make a rounded kind of flat growing clump that'll get to about 2 foot or maybe 2.5 foot wide, and it is wonderful whether you grow it as a single plant. But I would suggest that if you've got a bank or a hillside or a sloping bed somewhere that's getting lots of sun with gritty, well-drained soil, then that you think about planting these as a kind of ground covering plant that will wake up each spring and bring you all of this magnificent color. And if you're able to put them in flowing drifts, plant them at about 2.5 foot centers, and you can see that these will spread out to bring really delightful color, but also attract pollinating insects and butterflies too. You see, this is a hybrid phlox that was developed at Walter's Gardens and introduced by proven winners. And what's magnificent about this is that it's nice and vigorous and strong growing, and also has the ability to have extended flowering period. When I show you in close here, you'll see that it's loaded now with loads of buds that are developing behind these flowers. So even though these are fully out right now, in another couple of weeks you can see all of these buds are going to develop out, and they will take their turn to bring this wonderful kind of flattish hummock of color into our gardens. Now this is a hybrid phlox developed from native species, and therefore it's ideal for growing in our gardens. Also very hardy and easy to grow. All it really wants is a good sunny location in a gritty, well-drained soil, and one that's preferably on the limey side of neutral. And in fact, if you're growing it and thinking about growing it in a bed somewhere in your garden, you might even think about amending the soil by adding a little bit extra grit and sand, and perhaps even some lime too. And once you get it growing and it finishes flowering, it's also a good idea to just go over and give it a bit of a haircut. Just trim it back with hedging shears, or like one of my friends does, is he runs the lawnmower over the tops of them. That just helps to shear them back, makes them extra bushy and compact, and then when they grow up next spring they'll be loaded with loads of buds that are going to make wonderful color in your garden at a time that's so valuable. If you're like me, you're just fed up with winter, looking forward to the brightness and the rejuvenation of bright, colorful plants in spring, and if you've got the right conditions for it, this is definitely a plant that's going to do that. One final thing I would mention about this too is that it's surprisingly salt tolerant. So if you've got a bed somewhere, you know, that's going to be getting some salt thrown up after the winter time when you'd be salting down paths, or even if you had a bed by the ocean where it's likely to be on the salty side, then you can also have this, because that's one of the neat things about it. It is salt tolerant too. So compact, very hardy, easy to grow, and extremely colourful. This is Phlox Spring Bling, and the variety very well named Pink Sparkles.